All right. So I guess I just want to start off talking about like what got you into the military, why you joined instead of going to school first and whatnot.
The reason I joined out of high school, I was 18, is I didn't know what I wanted to do in college, so I thought, why spend the money? Another reason is it's a family legacy. My parents, my uncles, my grandparents, they were all Navy, though I did join the Air Force at my mother's urging. But that was the real reason for the not going to college first.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people do that. Like Greg I was talking to, he's another guy I interviewed, said that he just wasn't sure what he wanted to do, and like the military is a good spot for him to like sort things out.
I had no idea, and I was kind of a little exhausted because the school was just 4 years of just boringness, and I just didn't want to do it anymore.
So you went to school prior to?
Well, high school, and then
Okay.
I was just exhausted. I was just like, let's do something else.
Where'd you grow up?
I'm a Navy brat, so pretty much all over the country, and a little bit. I was born in California. Mom was stationed in Alaska, and then we moved back to California, and then Iceland, in Keflavik, Iceland, and then back to California, and then she retired, and we moved to Illinois. I tell people I'm from Michigan because my family's from Michigan, so I just,
Are you guys doing the like student staff holiday party thing? I think it's.
All right.
So that's where I'm from, including all the bases I was stationed at.
Okay, awesome. So you joined
I'm
the
so
military,
confused because I got like a
and
bunch of different invites. I'm not sure like which one is which. Like,
There's probably a cool people one that we aren't invited to. You got the invite to?
It's a veterans office.
yeah.
That would be
It-
It's gonna be noisy.
Wait.
You ready? We'll just press forward.
Okay,
December,
let's
the one
see.
that's December 10th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
I thought when you responded though, you're supposed to say that you're bringing.
We're trying to do an interview. Is it okay?
What?
We're trying to do an interview.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Project.
What's up?
Doing his interview for
We're
his
being too loud.
project. Just the conversation across the room is so a little helpful at the moment.
You know we have a study room right next door.
We're cool.
Okay. And be quieter.
We'll be quick.
We'll be
5 minutes. Thanks.
5. I'm a fast talker.
You say
All right. So you're in the military, you're in the Air Force, and then
Bring something.
what happened after that? Like, what? How did you decide your job, or did somebody pick it for you?
I didn't decide. I was a munition systems
Yeah,
specialist,
It's like-
or in all other military speak, an ammo troop. We just dealt with explosives. Anything that handled explosives, we did. So I didn't choose it. I had high maintenance scores, so when I entered the service, I was supposed to be in helicopter engineering, but it was not to be, according
Gotcha.
to distribution.
And when you were in, like, I wanted to get you specifically because, like, all the other guys we interviewed were guys. Did you notice anything, like, being a woman in the military, was that difficult at all?
Oh, here we go.
For an ammo career field is still really low population for women. Like we don't make up any sufficient numbers. Like we're growing, but it's a guy's career field. I didn't have really a big problem. Mostly the way I was raised, and I am 6'3", so I'm a little intimidating. Guys don't, and the guys I worked with, took that to heart.
Yeah, I can imagine. So did you do any, like, deployments or whatnot? Overseas?
I was deployed to Afghanistan for 7 months in 2011 during the summer and early fall. I did several training assignments, and I was in Korea for a year.
That was a reminder.
Right on. And do you want to talk about, like at least for me, it was a little stressful, like, transferring out of the military, believe it or not, like, just because, like, the structure's not there, the money, obviously.
Yeah, I'd never really, at my mom's retirement, and when we moved to a civilian community in Illinois, I was finishing high school, so I didn't participate too often in local events, so I really had no introduction to the civilian world, like outside military bases and military personnel and military friends. I had a little culture shock when I moved back to the United States because I'd been overseas all 6 years of my service,
Right.
mostly in Europe. it was just, you know, thankfully I chose George Mason because it had a big veteran society. So, and I started coming into the office a little more, and I was like, I weaned myself slowly off talking military speak and expecting military stuff.
Right.
I have a lot of civilian friends now. It's actually really interesting.
Do you think people treat you differently? You know, like if it comes up in conversation, like, oh, I was a veteran. Do you think there are any stigmas with that?
Outside of school, no. Virginia is a great military-friendly place, so I feel no like adverse reactions to my veteran status. In class, when I tell, especially younger students, that I'm a veteran and that I'm, you know, older than them, they, especially when we talk about military subjects or any national security subjects, they automatically think I'm going to have an opinion, or I'm going to be upset, or I'm going to be gung-ho, and I kind of just let it go, and I kind of just keep quiet.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, those are all the big questions I had for you. I mean, do you have anything else that, I guess, how do you think the military shaped you in general as a person? Do you think it was,
It's going to sound really kooky and corny, but the military is at the core of everything I've done my entire life. Like, my mom had the Navy the Navy core values on the wall of our house: honor, courage, commitment, and it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, and that was our life.
Yeah.
My mom used, like, to please my mother, me and my sister used to stand at attention waiting for her to open the front door when we came home at the end of the day. So that was my entire life. And it's
was
probably
your
gonna-
mom enlisted, or
She was enlisted. She was
Yeah.
a air traffic. She's still an air traffic patrol, but she was an air traffic controller for the Navy for
Okay.
20 years. Her and my dad 20 years, and my uncle is a Navy captain, and my other uncle was a E9. I can't. The rankings.
What, in the Army?
In the Navy, he was.
Oh, I don't know the Navy.
He was a Master Chief Petty Officer of Submariner. So.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for us. And my family's always been in the military, in the Navy, but you know, had to shake it up just a little bit.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel you. That's it. Unless you have anything else you want to
No,
put on the camera.
I'm good.
Okay, sweet. Let's just make sure I was recording all that.
Hopefully.